Hello, Ann. How's it going? Good. I just wanted to fill you in on what happened last night. Okay. So you know how we were saying that the Americans were going to invade Canada in 1812? Well, they did. They actually sent an army into Canada, which is more than you can say for a certain someone who was supposed to do the same thing in 1941. You didn't let me live that down. Did you? No. But it's true. I'm ashamed of what I did. So where was I? Ah, yes. In 1812, the United States did invade Canada, though not in the way that most people think. Most people think that the war began with the invasion of Canada in June of 1812. But that wasn't really an invasion. It was more of a, when one side attacks first, but then loses and retreats. A defeat. Yeah. See, what happened was that American forces under the command of General William Hull crossed the Detroit River near Windsor in the first days of July and marched inland. They didn't have much success. They lost a battle at Fort Malden and then another one at Fort Erie. And then General Hull decided, you know what? This isn't going very well. Let's go back to Detroit, and that is what they did. So that's why we call it the invasion of Canada. Because that's the direction the Americans went, but they didn't really invade. They just sort of went, up and then came back down again. So was this a failure? Not necessarily. See, here, that's the thing about 1812. The Americans had two goals when they went to war against the British. One was to invade Canada and take British territory. But the other one, the secret one that no one knew about, was to annex Florida from the Spanish. That's right. The Americans wanted Florida, and they asked the British if they could have it. But the British said, no, that's ours. So the Americans said, okay, well. Now, the Americans knew that the Spanish wouldn't fight back if they invaded Florida. But they also knew that the British would fight back if they invaded Canada. So their plan was to do both things at the same time. They'd invade Canada and Florida at the same time. And they hoped that the British would focus on defending Canada and not Florida. And that's exactly what happened. The Americans invaded both places at the same time. And while the British were able to defend Canada successfully, they weren't able to defend Florida. The Americans took over most of it. So in the end, even though the Americans didn't conquer any new territory in Canada, they still had a successful war because they got Florida. We should probably make a video about that. Do you want to hear about it? Sure. Why not? We've already covered every single other war the United States has ever fought, so it's not like there's anything left to cover. Anyway, maybe we should start at the beginning. Have you ever wondered how the United States got started? Well, if you have, you're in luck, because I happen to have a video on that very topic. You see, the United States didn't just pop into existence fully formed. There was a lot of stuff that happened before that. And if you want to know what that stuff was, all you have to do is click on this video right here. And now you know.